Hey, the pioneers. This is MJ KK 613.14. Unofficial Pi through my eyes. The way I see it. I'm gonna try to keep this one short. I've been trying. But it could get real easy to get off track on this one. First off, I want to say, if anything I'm saying is registered and being repeated, I don't care whether you repeat it, because I have my opinion. Most know my opinion. I mean, anybody who's been around a while knows my opinion. But what I will ask is, if you're taking something that I'm saying and taking it someplace else, please put unofficial. I don't care whether you give me credit or whatever it is for it. As long as you're saying it's unofficial. When you're putting out any dollar amounts on Pi, any value amounts, actual value amounts on Pi, make them unofficial. Because they are unofficial. And, I was in chat just before coming to make this one, looking to make this one. And there were a couple people who were asking. What the question they were asking is what is prompting me to do this one. They were asking, does Pi need to be at $100 at the start? It's just the way the conversation was going and how it was presented made me stop. Made me stop and think. Okay. Yes, I don't have a big following. I don't have a lot of views, but I have views. And I've always stated unofficial. My opinions are my opinions. This chat, this video, this channel, this whatever, is unofficial through my eyes, the way I see it. So if you're kind of like the tweeter information, that tweet post that I commented on earlier today or yesterday, whatever. Going back through, it's not official. It didn't come from Core Team. It didn't come from the Pi app. It came from me. Okay. Now, because Core cannot legally, they cannot have anything to do with Pi value and Pi price. They can't. They can get into some deep shit if they have anything to do with price or value, whether stating it, helping it get that way, influencing it to go that way, influencing community to go that way, all of that, they can get in serious trouble. Yeah. Because of the regulations and exchange laws and all of the stuff that's coming down from the government, if they have anything to do with price or value, it becomes influencing, price fixing, inside trading, all the, whatever multitude of laws they can throw, they'll throw. Okay? That's why legally, Core cannot have anything to do with price or value. Okay? There are a lot of people that believe that Core is going to give us the answer, give us the direction, give us the, okay? That's wrong. Because they can't. Legally, they can't. Okay? And those, I'll get into this. And because I am a mod, I have to keep that distance between Core, so I don't, anything I say, because I'm out here, I'm free to say what I can say, that I want to say. But it's all unofficial. I don't want to make sure everyone knows it's unofficial. And if you're passing on anything that you're getting from me, make sure you state it unofficial. I don't care whether you put my handle out or not. That I don't care. I don't care. I'll go up against anybody. I don't care. But just make sure that anything coming from me is unofficial. I don't care what it is. It's unofficial. Pi through my eyes, the way I see it. My opinion. Okay? Because the closer we get to mainnet, the squirrelier it's going to get, I believe. Because true colors are going to start to come to the top. True colors have been out all along, but true colors are going to start to come to the top the closer we get to phase 3. Yes. Because there's probably going to be 3 fractions in Pi. Mm-hmm. There's going to be exchange fraction. There's probably a 4th one, but I don't want to deal with them. exchange fraction that are trying. They have been trying since I got here to get people to believe that that's the only way Pi can go. The only way Pi can do anything is to go through the exchange and use market cap. I mean, I hear market cap about throw up. Okay, because that's what crypto uses, market cap. Okay. Now, here's where I can get off tangent. Market cap, any tools being used on the crypto exchange are adaptations to tools that the investors use on the stock market, adapted to crypto. All they are is tools. Market cap and all that are tools to strategize how to invest, when not to invest. When they are tools to help strategize investing in crypto, on the crypto exchange, when not to, when to get out, when to get in. That's all they are is tools. Market cap is a tool used by crypto traders. Okay? Keeping that in mind, that's the direction, that's the angle, that's the attitude that they're coming from. They want to know that so they can strategize on what they're going to do, whether they're going to buy or sell. Well, it's all well and good if you keep the exchanges in proper context. They are part of the economy. They are not Pi economy. These people believe that that's the ecosystem. Trading on the exchange and whatever is the ecosystem and is the economy. Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm getting my. When you really look at the crypto space, they're only trading on half the picture. They're not seeing the other half of the picture. For some reason they can't see. They won't accept that it's only half. If they did, their thinking would be different. Their mind would be open to different stuff. Trading on a crypto exchange is a tree. Trading on a crypto exchange is a tree. Just look at the U.S. economy. Look at the U.S. economy, the U.S. ecosystem, and where the stock market is placed in that system. If you look at it, because crypto is no different. Crypto is turned into a tradable asset or commodity. I know all the hype about Bitcoin and being accepted in all these places and whatever is a drop in the bucket. It's minuscule, compared to the bigger picture. Well, if you only seeing the little half of the picture here, you're not going to see the big picture outside every place else. Okay? That's trading on the exchange, and they are there are more of them than there are of us. There are more of them than there are of us. Hopefully, from what I've been seeing and what been hearing and what that shift that might be taking place. There's got to be more of us. I mean, there's still more of them, but there has to be more of us today than there was yesterday. Hopefully that if we can get to a balance between us and them, in this way I look at us and them. If we can get to a balance between us and them to where we're balanced, Pi's got a shot. Pi's got a shot, no matter what value. Now I do have my opinion on the lowest Pi can go, and I'll tell you that here in a little way. Okay, if it goes below that, Pi will struggle, and if it goes to where exchanges have it, Pi won't succeed. It may as well throw it in the chair and go someplace else, because there's no way Pi can bounce back from something like that. Not at the size, the scale, the amount of coins, the amount of people, the amount of Pi will never. If the exchange has their way, my opinion, unofficial. If the exchange has their way, and they list Pi for what I believe they would list it for, it's going to be under a quarter. It'll probably be under a dime, just because of the people have no clue, especially traders, have no clue of the actual amount of coin. Why do you think everybody's saying Pi's got to stop mining? Stop mining, stop mining. You got to create scarcity. They don't see Pi on the scale that it needs to be seen. Okay, they don't understand economy. They understand the exchange. They understand trading on the exchange. They've made that become economy. It's only a piece. It's only a small piece. I'm going to say it's a fair piece. But it's probably in Pi. The exchanges, it's probably maybe a third. Maybe. And I'm being generous. A third. because you have community and you have buying goods and services. Those are 1 and 2. Exchanges take a back seat in the way Pi is written. Because the way Pi is written, it doesn't matter how many coins there are. It may matter how many are in circulation, but it doesn't matter how many coins there are. As long as we don't screw with the way Pi is built, the way the Pi is distributed. Make sure what is being put out on a new base stays in the economy. Yes, that people are going to hold, people are going to do whatever, okay? But as long as it stays circulating in the economy, somebody can be holding it in their wallet, throw their wallet in the closet for whatever. It hasn't left the economy. Because somewhere, somehow, someday, whatever it is, they made a lose it and they come across it. I mean, stories become, okay? But the coin is still in the economy. It's when coin is permanently burned, lost, taken out of circulation. Yes, the feds are taking out, putting in new bills all the time. Okay, different scenario, different reason. If you really break Pi down, line by line, section by section, yes, there will be discrepancies. It will get a little harder to read from time to time. The punctuation is bad. The spelling is bad. Not as bad as mine, but yeah, I went through Grammarly. I mean, I wish I would have been to grab a copy of the white paper when I first joined and saved it. Because I was here a few months before I grabbed a copy of the white paper because I was struggling with certain parts of it. And I copied a copy of the white paper and I have it. And it looks like Merry Christmas or whatever it is. I mean, it's highlighted all over the place in different sections, different whatever, for me to help understand Pi. That's how you have to break Pi down. I mean, I did it for a couple of reasons. I did it to learn Pi initially. Then I learned what makes Bitcoin Bitcoin. I tried to learn the best I could on that. Then what makes Pi different than Bitcoin and all this other stuff. And it's all part of it. Well, in that, yeah, it didn't take long to realize, man, exchange trading is on emotion. It's all on emotion. The people that control the emotion control the trading. The people that control the coin control the emotion, control the trading. That's influence. That's what government... Why do you think all these government regulations are coming down? Because they know it's being influenced to create profit. And what's happening is the government is not getting capital gains on that profit. That's what it's about. It's about the money. It's about getting the money. But see, no crypto out there. You can't pay your taxes with crypto. You can gain most capital gains. They're selling coin. They're selling the Bitcoin or whatever they're making, whatever coin it is. They're selling it, getting capital gains. I know, probably most people don't know what capital gains are. They're getting capital gains. Well, the governments tax capital gains. So, and you don't gain no matter what your wallet is or what your wealth is. It isn't yours until you sell it or use it. It's just numbers on the page. Okay. Now, if some people just get off on going, yeah, I got $1 million, I got $1 billion. Some people just get off on it. But until you sell it, you have nothing. A number on the page. But people honor that number on the page. I mean, you have numbers on the page up to $1 billion or $10 billion or whatever, and you go into a business deal. Yes, they will do business with you, guaranteed, because they know it's secure. They know it's there. That's no different than okay. And they don't even trade money hand to hand, and that's what crypto. Okay, it should be able to do business without basically trading between. I mean, you're trading, but it's not going hand to hand. It's going button to button. Okay, crypto exchanges are part of the economy. Okay, because what makes up an economy is the overall. And I did it in one of the videos. I don't know what I did. I've done so many. I've deleted a few. Okay. What makes up the United States economy is the United States. It's boundaries. It's borders. It's okay. Same thing that makes up the states in the United States. It's boundaries and borders that makes up the state. And each state is controlled independently from each other. But the overall federal U.S. economy is coast to coast, both directions. Okay? That's the start of the United States ecosystem. Then everything that is involved in its resources, its people, its manufacturing, its real estate, it's all of it. That is the economy. The biggest portion of that. I mean, we've fallen behind as far as selling our goods on the world stage. When you get into the world economy, it changes again because of how they bookkeep and what they consider as a world asset. And they get into copyrights as a world asset. So, when you get into global trading, it's different. But just even in-house, before went out outside, we manufactured our own goods here. And kind of the way it started, we manufactured our own stuff here. We bought our own stuff in America. And with that, in manufacturing, in the industry, whatever, you're going to have a surplus. Most likely you're going to have a surplus of whatever you produce. Most likely you're going to have a surplus, depending on how big of demand and how. Today it's how trendy or how people think. Today it's this and tomorrow it's that and tomorrow and what was yesterday isn't today, and you get into it's a whole mind shit because of who controls it and what it is. Has conditioned us to do that, and we can get off on another tangent on here. Okay, but when you're producing and manufacturing goods, to buy and sell those goods and to move those goods around, you have to have an easy form of payment, money, currency. If we had to go into a barter system, so a true barter system, which very well could happen, in the world we live in today, very well. The dollar is losing value. Eventually, they can't pump enough in, or they can't do enough. They can't save it. You get to a certain point, you're going bankrupt. Okay? And if anybody has ever filed bankruptcy, you don't go bankrupt before you're bankrupt. You go bankrupt while you still have something to do. Okay? We're close. I believe the U.S. government, the U.S. dollar, is that close. Because just over the last few months, I think we've lost between 25 and 35% of our buying power of the dollar. Yeah. And it's happening here. Gas is up, food's up. No matter where you go, everything costs more. By anywhere from, as of late, it's probably about $3 to $3.50 or $4. That's a lot of loss. So, but to make the economy is us going to the job, getting the money, coming home, paying our bills, buying our toys, buying what we need, food, all that. That's the economy. The stock market is in that economy. Investing in your 401k, investing in stocks for short-term, long-term to gain more money. So that's all stock trading is. Speculation. All exchange trading is speculation. And I don't think most people or a lot of people understand speculation. Honestly. Because a speculative market is doing what these people are doing. Total supply, circulating supply, whatever other numbers they throw in there, and it comes out with what is considered price. Okay? But once price starts, here's where supply and demand comes in. If people aren't buying, people can't sell. If people can't sell, the price has got to come down. Because you got to get to a point to where people want to buy. It's got to come down cheap enough so people are wanting to buy it, willing to buy it. Then they can sell. Now, if you decide to sell at that lower price, that's price. If people are looking to buy, and wanting to buy it, sell they don't buy, and you decide not to sell, they got to raise their price. They got to raise their price until those people are willing to buy. If you're not willing to sell something, let's say, all right, let's keep this simple. Stock exchange or crypto exchange or whatever it is, they're both the same. They operate the same. They work the same. Just the volatility of the crypto exchange makes this game fast. A lot of quick money. There's a lot of energy, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of stuff that goes on in the crypto exchange that doesn't go on in the stock exchange. But anyway, now it's about supply and demand. I don't care about circulating supply or whatever it is, because now they're talking trading volume. If I'm not looking to sell until that reaches a certain price, whatever it is, stock or coin, I'm not looking to sell. I'm not going to sell until it reaches that point. Well, if there's not enough out there that people can buy, if people are buying, the price isn't going to come up. The price isn't going to come up if there's coin or paper out there to buy. It's when they've bought up everything that's out there and there's no more out there, and they still want it because they know how they're making other money, creating their wealth. So they know what they're going to get for it. They're going to get other money to do what money should do. Okay? What Pi should do. Pi's looking to be the money. You can't trade money for money. You do that through a currency exchange. Highly regulated, Okay? So once the supply and demand once that supply and demand does come into play in the stock market, in the crypto exchange. Because once they've bought up everything that they can buy up and there's nothing left for them to buy up, there's no supply. The only way they can get supply is if somebody chooses to sell it. And if you're not looking to sell it at that price, they got to raise their price to where you're willing to sell and they're willing to buy. It's really not rocket science. Yes, you can make it complicated because they're speculating. And what speculation is okay, I'm speculating that this is a good point to buy at this price because I know it's going to continue to go up and I'm going to sell it when it gets higher. Speculating that somebody is willing to buy it at the higher price. Speculation. What if it doesn't reach that price? Well, guys that know it well, know how to play it well, have it timed well. And see, the issue with crypto, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to lose money in crypto and in Pi if and when it goes to the exchange, because they don't understand the exchange. Exchange is a pretty wild place. It's pretty western, pretty rodeo, it's pretty wild. Yeah. It's pretty wild. So, and there are going to be new people that don't know crypto. You can see they don't know crypto. They don't know blockchain. They don't know nothing. They definitely don't know Pi. You can see, you can watch it. Anybody that says Pi is points, that doesn't have a clue. They're playing a game. They think it's a game. They believe it's a game. A lot of kids, okay? You have traders that they know they can prey on that. And I call it prey because anytime you get selfishness and greed and whatever, you're looking to screw somebody else. You're looking to screw them out of what they have. Legal? Yeah, it's legal. Is it right? No, it's not right. In my opinion. Okay? And some people are going to have to learn the hard way. I know myself and others have put out. You need to learn the exchange now. And this was a year and a half ago. You need to learn the exchange now. You need to know how it works. You need to learn how it works. And I know it's falling on deaf ears. I do. I know, or I feel. I have a feel. I know. When I start talking in chat, I get turned off right away. I would almost guarantee it. Because I'm too arrogant, too headstrong, too whatever. Yeah, it doesn't call them out. So I know, but if they're not listening, there's going to come a point that you can only do so much. You can only talk to people so much. You can only give them so much information. You can lead a horse to water, and if he don't want to drink, he ain't going to drink it. He's going to die. Okay? Some people are going to have to learn the hard way. Because learning and understanding and knowing what is going on, and you see it in a lot of these other projects, there's been like 2,000 coins that have issued in a year. In the space, there's like 2,000 coins that have issued over the year. I don't know how many survived, how many were, but I bet you, I would almost venture to guess, anything that made it to the exchange went pump and dump. That's how they make their money. And getting people to buy it. Most people won't even have enough Pi to trade. They don't have enough to cover even the fees to trade on the exchange. Well, a lot of exchanges trade for free. A lot of exchanges trade for free. I wouldn't trust them. Any exchange that doesn't do KYC and trades for free, I wouldn't trust them in a heartbeat. No. Exchanges are in it to make money. They become the new third party. They become the new middleman. Yeah. Because if they're not being regulated, there's no guarantee that one morning I could wake up and all my shit's gone. And it's happened over and over and over and over. Or the exchange becomes insolvent and whoever running and operating them is gone. They're in the Bahamas somewhere. Or they're in the Cayman Islands. And I looked at one of them. I was reading on one of them one day. I forget what exchange it is. Went to the Cayman Islands. They're doing business out of the Cayman Islands. Okay. I've heard Core doing business out of the Cayman Islands. Or they have an account in the Cayman Islands. I don't know. I'm not going to say they don't because I've already said too much that they don't, that come to find out later that they do. So I'm not going there, but I don't believe. They're based here in the United States. But when you start talking those kind of millions of dollars, and you're starting to talk billions and trillions of dollars, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. Unofficial. That's where people go to hide money is in the Caymans. They go through the Bank of London. The Bank of London will set them up with accounts. Ghost companies, shadow companies. Bank of London will help people, corporations, businesses set money laundering up in the Cayman Islands. That's all it is. Money. And they're talking about worrying about crypto money laundering. Come on, man. They're worried about crypto. They're worried about crypto because they can't regulate it. There's not a crypto out there that any government is afraid of. That any government threatens them anymore. None. Not a one. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Used to. When it first came out and when it was doing, used to. Bitcoin's part of that system. They're not afraid of it. They're looking to control it. Yeah, I've read a couple of different reports. When you start talking about institutional investors, the institutional investors are the big boys. Central bank, government, Buffett, Musk. Those are the big players. Those are institutional investors. Well, we want them. No, we don't, really. The investors we want, and I know I've touched on this before, investors we want are willing to invest themselves in Pi, willing to supply goods and services for the community. That's the type of investors Pi would be looking for. Pi doesn't need the money. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't need the money, but they shouldn't really need the money. Pi should already be liquid. Pi should already be liquid, in my book. I don't know, unofficial, through my eyes, the way I see it, how I connect the dots. Okay? Yeah. So, you have the exchange, and they want to go there. Then you have the tweeners. The tweeners is what I call them. They're still leaning towards the exchange. They're the ones throwing the roadblocks up. They're the ones that are making things difficult. They're the ones that are making... Because, now, part of that is driven, I think, by... They fear Pi. They fear Pi. Because of whatever they're involved in or whatever they're doing or whatever, whether they're afraid Pi's going to overrun them or do it. Okay? Pi's not in competition with anybody. Doesn't need to be in competition with anybody. Doesn't have to be in competition with anybody. Pi is making its own way into the space. Early on, I was on, yeah, they're doing their own thing, they're doing, and they're going to enter their space and make their place in the space. But the farther this has gone on, the more it's transpired, the more it has developed, the more it's happened. Pi is blazing its own trail to the space. It's cutting its own path. It's finding its own to the space. Mm-hmm. It didn't hit me till just recently that's what Pi. Okay, Pi is not following any model. It's not following the crypto model. It's not following the Bitcoin model. It's not following crypto, exchange model. It's not following cryptos. Any crypto that's come before it or whatever. It's not. Yes, it's forked off of Stellar, but it's not built like Stellar. Pi is Pi. Core's made additions to whether it's interface, whatever it is. All they use was a foundation, blockchain, from Stellar. Everything else besides that is Pi. Straight up Pi, straight up Core. I don't care how it ties into it, but it makes Pi Pi. Yeah. I don't need to know the tech. I need to know how the tech operates. I need to know on the surface level. It has to be easy for me to use, not complicated, not what, and what can I use? How can I use it? Where can I use it? And how easy is it to use? That's all the overall community is looking for. The programmers and developers and all that, this stuff that's in here, make up a small portion of the overall community. The traders, the crypto traders and all that, make up a small portion of the community. But the majority of the community will listen to them. Both of them together don't make up a majority. But they got the majority on their side. I can guarantee. But I would almost venture to guess it. I mean, I would probably put some Pi up on it. Yeah, I'm a gambler, man. That even traders and developers are a small portion of. Not a small portion. I mean, they're a reckonable portion of. But they're nowhere near the majority. And you have the people that know Pi that is even in a less of a minority than those two. Yeah, right there. Because these are the experts, these are the developers, these are the ones that know. And they come across like that, and they present their information like that, and it's wrong. Yeah. Because they put their information out like it is what it is. It is official. It is whatever. This is the way. It is official. Theirs is even less unofficial than people that know Pi that are putting out information. You know? I watched a lot of YouTube people that put out, they put out some good information, they put out some, okay? But some of them, they're little pieces, they're little sections, but some of them are big. They miss the whole mark. But they're selling it that it is. And people are believing that it is because they have followings, they have whatever, they have experience, they have knowledge, they have expertise, okay? I've watched a lot of them videos, man. And it makes it harder on us, the ones that know Pi, the ones that know what Pi needs, the ones that are working to get Pi to phase 3, giving Pi a chance to make it. Mm-hmm. And it's getting bigger. From what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing, what I've been watching, what I've been seeing happen in the chats and stuff like that, people are starting to get it. People are starting to see what people that know Pi are saying. This to be true, to be the way Pi is. Mm-hmm. It's happening. I know. I mean, hopefully, it's happening fast enough, and we have enough legroom, enough to make it into phase 3 and give Pi a fighting chance. Okay. Now, where the issue comes in, like it started this whole thing, was when I heard somebody say, "Does Pi need to be at $100 at mainnet?" No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Should it be? Yes. Doesn't need, but should it be? Yes. Because what people seem to not take into account, crypto traders, people trying to hold Pi down as low as they can hold it down and all other stuff, they're not looking out for Pi. They're not looking out for community. They're not looking out for anything other than themselves. That's all we're looking out for. Yeah. Because anybody talking Pi lower than $1 cut out at least a third of the community, if not more. Yeah. That's why Pi needs to be what it needs to be. All right. I know they're not looking at it because it's been said, it's been talked about, it's been over and over and over. Okay? If Pi goes exchange price, you've probably cut out 2/3 of the community. And And I say the 2/3 because there's a part of that 2/3 that have pi that could deal with that won't. No. There are a lot of, I'm one of them. Pi goes to the exchange. Yes, I have enough pi that I can make a few trades on the exchange. But it ain't going to take me long to get wiped out. No. Not when I know, not when I know what pi needs to be and the value I can get for pi. I value my pi. These people don't value their pi. They don't value your pi. They may value theirs, but they don't value yours. They want yours. Okay? But they're also not, okay, if, let's say, pi hits the exchange, phase 3, hits the exchange, opens for a dime. How much pi do you think anybody's going to have to be able to trade on the exchange? 1,000 pi? 2,000 pi? 3,000 pi? 10,000 pi? 1,000,000 pi? We're not earning that much, man. I mean, earlier pioneers were. The mining rate was higher. It was easier. The referral reward was higher. The whole thing was higher. Yeah, there are whales, and there are big whales, and there are baby whales, and there are minnows, and there are guppies, and there are, okay, starfish, and all the way down, man. Okay. So, yes, there are whales. And everybody's worried about whales controlling them. That's what happens in other cryptos. Because of pi supply needing to be so big, a whale can't influence pi. 2 whales moving together can't influence pi. Whales are whales. Congratulations. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. But to gain control of pi, influence pi markets, ain't gonna happen. It can't. Supply's too big. Its own sandbox, man. Because what the majority of people don't understand, they don't. The majority of pioneers in pi hold the least amount of pi, but control the majority of the coin. Up until 10 million people, that means there's 9 million people behind it when it has to 10 million. That number might be too big, but we'll go with that. 10 million people. That means there's 9 million people behind it. We are at 30 million people today. That means there are 20 million in front of. They're only earning a few pi a day. And if they can't invite people and can't get referrals, you hear it all the time. They're sad because they're mining by themselves. They're going to have less than what, 500 pi? I don't know what the average is, but I would say the average is probably going to be between 1,000 and 1,500 on the average. Maybe a little higher because I know some big whales. All right, I'll go 2 as an average. But people coming, we're probably, gaining, I heard somebody say 1 million people a month. We were growing by 20 or 30,000 a day that only have 1 pi. The majority of people that hold pi only have a few pi. You open it a dime or whatever it is on the exchange, they can't even trade on the exchange. They will not stay in pi. And once we're in phase 3, that pi will be lost. Until we get to that phase, I'm sure because it's all going to get burned anyway. Every coin, every pi that is out right now will disappear, one way or another. Whether it gets scratched from the books, goes in the burn wall, whether beta on the faucet is beta, gone. It has no use. Test pi, gone, has no use. Now the in-app transfer pi, I'm not sure how that plays out. Whether everything gets wiped out and they get new pi, or it can't be official pi. And if it's not official pi, it's no good. That's why we can't sell or do anything with it. There's no official pi till phase 3, mainnet. Okay, so I could be wrong. I could be wrong on how to detect and all that. But if it's not real and doesn't count for anything, then it is points. But the balance that we're accumulating is real. It will become real. That will become the real pi at mainnet launch. We will get that pi. If all of our earning team goes through KYC, whatever we earned with them, we will get that pi. If somebody doesn't go through KYC, we will lose that pi. Okay. But when core honors our account, however it works out. People tell me no, it's not going to do that. It's not the way it works. It's not going to way. Well, how can it work any other way? The pi that is out now has no value. Has no value. It's testnet pi. It's faucet pi. It's beta pi. It's all pi just to get things going. It's going to get flushed. It can go. I don't care whether it goes into burn water. All the shit that's out now. Take an eraser and just eraser it off the deal, man. Even though it created a genesis block for each whatever, I heard the faucet was running low, so they added more to it. You can't do that in phase 3. If they could, they would add more to Bitcoin. You can't do that in the protocol. Once that man, from what I understand and how that works and whatever, it's a computer program that once it's set and the protocol's running it, to change it is a major deal. That's also part of what these programs are running. They want to get in, they want to fuck with it. Yeah. Pi does not need to be open source until phase 3. Domainnet. It's right in the white paper. Why are they pushing so hard for transparency now? Why are they pushing so hard for open source now? It doesn't need to be. Yes, it's centralized. It has been centralized since it launched. It will stay centralized until it goes May 3. And there will probably be a portion of it that will remain centralized for a long time. And I'm behind core on that. I am. There's no other project out there that's 100% decentralized. I don't care how you stack it up. All the founders and creators of whatever coin are still in control of that coin. They have control of whatever coin that was pre-minted all the way in this big stack and whatever they have control of. Proof of work creates, the way proof of work works now, creates centralization of the nodes. It's already seen in Bitcoin. The way the coin is distributed, operated, and how they get coin out on the market is centralized. And it will become more centralized. If the nodes are centralized, nodes are doing the work, and these farms, if you have a big enough farm with the latest and greatest technology, odds are you're going to get more coin. And it's going to happen continually over time. You're going to get more coin. You get more coin, it centralizes. Concentration of wealth. Right now, 1 or 2% of Bitcoin control over 95% of Bitcoin mined. That's centralized. Stack it up. It's centralized. When 1 or 2%, just like the economy, the world economy, 1 or 2% control the 97%. No different. It's just moved into that system. That's why they don't fear it. Become part of that system. And as soon as you put in institutional investors, and they are. Institutional investors are starting to invest. Yeah. Well, why? They need it. Yeah, okay, they need it. They can have it. They can keep it, in my opinion. Keep them mothers out there, man. You want to invest. Invest in them. Play in that market. Play in that market. Because that's where that market plays. That's the sandbox that market plays in. Mm-hmm. So, let them play. All these crypto traders and all that shit that are looking to keep Pi down, let them play over there, man. Because if whatever core has put out as investment, that'll be what's on the exchange, probably, most likely. Because nothing else can get there unless we put it there. So let the dust settle over there. And if you buy into a dime, and you think that's what it is, and you need to sell it that bad, then try to sell it. Try to sell it. Go for it. Knock yourself out. School or not. Because at the same time, if you don't take advantage of the buying power and what you can buy with it, then you must be playing a game, okay? And that's what people want you to believe. That's why the economies that have started, yes, they're unofficial. Doesn't mean it's not happening. Doesn't mean that they're bad. Doesn't mean good things aren't coming from them. Yes, it gets harder out of the way. And I feel for the ones that have started the economy and understand it, whatever, because they got to be getting close. They're backing the economies that are going, and they haven't had any help for 2 years. And that's wrong on core. I will say that is wrong on core. Those folks should have some help. They should have had some help growing those economies. I know the game plan changed, but they should have gotten some help. Yeah. Whether you agree with it or not, they're going. You can't hide from the fact that those economies are going. And they have a set established value for those economies. Whether you like it or not, agree with it or not, you can't say it's not happening. Yes, they are unofficial. And why did they become unofficial? Because greedy people thought they could get around the system, closed the internet transfer, because these people went and continued what their job was and made their job happen. Created economies, have economies going. Trading pi for goods and services at $100 a pi. They have a few thousand transactions to back it up. They would have more if they would get some help. Yeah. They would have plenty more, I would imagine, if they would have gotten some help and had some support from people in the in-app transfer. Yeah. There are at least 4 economies, unofficial economies, that I would trust. I would research before I got involved in anything. Because anything that's happening now is unofficial. Pi has no official value. It has no official backing from core. Okay? I understand. Because they're not in Pi. They're not part of Pi. They've stepped out of Pi. Because they couldn't do their job inside of Pi. Once the internet transfer closed and became unofficial, they couldn't do their job inside of Pi. Now I don't know, and I'm gonna go out. I'm probably gonna step up with Wang here. It's all about the same time. Vince part of the company, with the company. What was behind it, I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm putting out there. There was something that happened, something major that happened. Vince was the voice of community. When Vince left, for whatever reason, that's personal between core. Whatever happened. But it was a sad day for Pi community. Now, Pi never missed a lick continuing moving forward. Because this isn't the first project that core has went separate ways or has gone off and done different things and not seen it to completion. It's happened in a few of them. Okay? Yeah. Having a ripple. I know, here I come. Yeah. Because whatever transpired in Ripple, okay, and there are people that are real defensive on both sides of the story, okay? And the founder of Ripple got tagged for running one of the biggest, he got sucked in. He got sucked in to one of the biggest scam exchanges in Bitcoin in the early days. Yes, he did get sucked in, I will give him that. But that doesn't talk about, nobody knows. I mean, isn't brought in. Okay, so, and then, what was the other one? There was another one that, part of the company. It happens. Some of the people that I got to know, and I know from when I got here, first got here and whatever, I'm sure if we were in business together, we would have part of the company already. Because we're going our separate ways. We've grown different directions, different ways. But when the in-app transfer closed and became unofficial, and we lost head of community, it all seemed, and it all tied. This is all unofficial through the way I see it in my eyes. So if you ever put this out, make sure it's unofficial, please. All I'm trying to do is enlighten people of, because a lot of people don't know the history. They won't research back in the history because you probably have to dig to find some of the history. I mean, I don't know whether the court case is settled between Nicholas and Vince. But in the state of California, Superior Court, you can find the documentation of the lawsuit between them. Like I say, I don't know whether it's settled. I haven't followed it up because it's really not important to me. It's not, it affected Pi, but it didn't affect Pi. Pi's moving forward. We're still getting, and we're looking to go phase 3 and whatever. So everything picked up and did what it's supposed to do. I'm torn. Let's put it that way. I'm torn. But life goes on. Life goes on. You get divorced. Life goes on. You get, your dog dies. Life goes on. Your horse dies. Life goes on. Life goes on. Okay? Pi goes on. But what transpired from that was the in-app transfer closing. People that were doing their job, know their job, making it happen. The 4 that have come up have 4 different values. Mm-hmm. And you have what I think where things started was the Pi Network Marketplace, PNM. They're still functioning. I don't know what transactions are transpired or I don't know what's going on. I do know they've created a bunch of coin of their own. I mean, whether it's NFTs or other coins or whatever, they have created coins, and I believe they're trading those coins on that, waiting for phase 3. They have. I mean, it's going, because it's unofficial, doesn't mean it's not happening. Okay? You just need to be careful of what you're getting into. Okay? Then you have, there's an economy on Facebook. They've been real quiet in the shadows and doing their thing, they're doing their thing, but they're doing their thing. The last I heard, they were about $25 a Pi for what they were trading for goods and services. And this is all unofficial. But because it's unofficial doesn't mean it's not happening. How's it happening? Because people that do have the in-app transfer capability are making the transactions happen. They're backing. Now, I don't know all the inner workings of all of the locations. I do a few of them. But most of them they have to be on some kind of backer system. Now, they have to also be real careful because you can't put Pi and cash in the same sentence. So if you're using Pi and cash, I don't know where that is. There's somebody off of Amazon doing the same thing, using half and half. I think it is, whatever it is. You can pay partially in Pi and you pay the other in fake currency. It's happening. That one I don't know. I would investigate real well before you got involved in it. Sure, you can find it. It's unofficial. Doesn't mean it's not happening. Then you have TPL, the Pi Lifestyles. They have thousands of transactions. They started out at $10 a Pi. And it didn't take them long to realize that it needed to be 100. It didn't take them long to realize. And if anybody knows me, they know I'm behind TPL. I believe in TPL. Yeah. You can say I'm blinded by the founders, and you can say whatever you want. You know what? You can kiss my ass. Mm-hmm. Talking about the ones that are blinded. I hate when I get called blinded. I really do. When it's the opposite. Well, they're shady. They're doing this. They're charging this. They're doing that. They're doing whatever. Yeah, they are. They are. Guaranteed. I know. You want to talk about it, I'll talk about it with you. I know. I finally figured out why and what's going on over there. Have I been involved in it as much as what I had been? No. Because I've stepped out of all of this. I've stepped out of all of it. Because trying to keep the bias down, I am biased towards CPL, but trying to keep it down and keep it neutral and keep it putting out as much information, of what's going on. But there's CPL. They started at $10. And everybody's laughing at them, giving them a hard time. It didn't take them long to realize that it needed to be $100. Then, and they are unofficial. But I would trade with them. I would trade on them. I will be trading with them and on them. Then you have, out of China, the Pi Mall. I'm not sure if there's another. Now see, anything coming out of China, you need to be careful. But there is an economy with in-app transfer backers that are set up on a backer system. I know TPL is a backer system. I know the China Mall is a backer system. And if you want to talk about backer systems and how they work or whatever, hit me up in the comments or whatever, and I'll put one out, or we can figure out a way to do it in private or whatever. I have no problem putting it out in public. If you want to know, let me know. And I'm not sure where the Pi Mall started at. I'm not sure whether they started at 10 or they went straight to 100. Probably by the time they got up and functioning and working and doing their thing, they were probably at 100 because TPL was already at 100. And that's where you're hearing the 1,000 come from. Do I think Pi can get to 1,000 unofficially? Yes. Do I think it's the correct starting value for Pi? No, it's too high. In my book, it's too high. because people don't believe it's going to open for a dollar. People, they can't fathom or grasp $10. You already have an economy of 25. They think that's outrageous. Then you got them at $100, and there's no way in hell. And you're going to take $1,000? Yeah, no, that would be. Well, could it get there in a short amount of time? Yes, it could get there in a short amount of time. How? Yeah, it's up to us, and it's up to us what we do on the exchange to get that $1,000. The exchange will come into play. Let's make it play to our advantage. It won't be hard to influence the exchange to get to $25 or $100. It won't, if we come together as a community. And all I'm talking, everything is unofficial, because these are going. You can't deny. You can't stick your head in the sand like an ostrich. You can't say that they're not going on. You can't say that they haven't been going on. They've been going on since, I'm going to say, November, December of 2019, coming up on 2 years of experience, growing pains, learning, dealing, getting things set up. Now, whether you agree with them or not is irrelevant. It's unimportant, because they're happening. Use the resource. Right now, they are a resource. With what they have done and what they have been through and gone through for 2 years, they are a resource. I don't care how you add it up or stack it up. They're trading for Pi. Pi is buying goods and services. They're trading in Pi. Now, I don't want to, because I don't want to, anyway. And what I've seen, the majority of in-app transfer pilots didn't step up and doing their job. They went off and did their own thing. And I think there might be now I don't know, because I don't know. Now this is where I agree with people about core being a little more communicative, a little more putting things out. Because in the beginning, there was no futures market. There was no futures trading. Was none. But I'm not sure if that's true anymore. Because I know there's a futures market that has started. I know it. I know who, anyway. But and I don't know how, that one I would be real careful with that in real estate, because most likely they're trading Pi for other currency. And you can't do that either. If they're offering Pi for you to give them another currency, you can't do that either. Crypto or anything else. You can't do faith, you can't do crypto. Any crypto that's trading on the market today can't be used to make trades with Pi. Can't. So I'd be real careful about any futures trading or any that garbage going on. Yeah. I know I have a pretty good idea, pretty good feeling. The Facebook economy, they haven't messed around. They probably, they are the oldest group. They are the oldest unofficial group in Pi. Yeah, that group started when Core launched in 19. They've been here. They've been, and knowing a lot of the people in there, they're not going to screw around, because you can't put cash and Pi in the same sense. They have. Just like TPL. Yes, there may have been a little touch and go in the beginning, whatever was going on. No, they're on the up and up and legit. And any of these economies, even the Pi Mall, I don't know much about Pi Mall, but I know they're following TPL. I'm sure the founder of TPL and the founders of the Pi Mall have worked in collaboration with each other, whatever it is, to get on the same page. But see, China knows their shit. China has it. If the mentality of Pi community right now was the same mentality of China, legit pioneers, because there's a lot of shady people doing some shady shit in China. I mean, they've messed with this Pi all along, just from way back. But there are good people in China, honest people, respectable people that abide by tradition. There are some awesome people in China. Pi needs China, and if Pi community had the same mentality around Pi as they do in China, $1,000 would be a piece of cake. Yeah, and that's where I don't want to say Pi should start at $1,000. I'm good with 100 because 100 works. But if we had the mentality of no, because they know, they get it, they got the concept, they understand the concept, they understand money, they understand finance, they understand. If they didn't, they wouldn't be there. I don't know how to, I know it's all, trust me, this is all unofficial, but it's all going on. I haven't even interjected my own opinions in it. It's going on. This is what's going on. And people people in the community aren't using the resource. They don't even believe the resource. They don't even believe it without investing. They go out, same thing they've been doing from day one. They go off of what they think they know. And I've been accused of it too, going off of what I think I know. But I've learned Pi. I've been involved in a lot of it. I probably have membership to most of it. I'm probably part of most of it. Like I say, I've gotten on because things are starting to get that I didn't want to get wrapped up in. Twofold. I didn't want to get wrapped up in it. And like I say, my strength is here, being here for new people, being here for new pioneers. Trying to get the new pioneers to be lifetime pioneers. Well, to be a lifetime pioneer, you need as much information as you can get. And yes, because it's all unofficial, it can't be talked about in the chat. And we haven't got to the chat yet. We haven't even got to yet. That will also be a big factor on how Pi starts. But it won't take long. Because all these economies are going, they are making transactions daily. Like I say, none of them have really gotten any help since they started. So if they're on the backer system, they got to be getting close. And for TPL to stay at $100, getting close on the backer system, I'm telling you, it's got to be tough. I don't know how Facebook is set up, but I'm probably pretty sure it's the same way. And at 25, they have to have a whole bunch of backers. 25 doesn't go real far per Pi, depending on the items they're selling. Now, if they're selling reasonable items to create transactions to get the economy going and to stabilize that value, cool. And that very well could be. That could be a way they're handling it. But I don't know. Like I say, you got the Pi Mall. They got it. They just get it. They understand it. They're using it. They're doing it. And I'm sure they have a lot of transactions at $1,000. Legit transactions at $1,000. Value per Pi. Because each zero you add to a number takes that out one more place. When you get to $1, dollar, both on the same side of the decimal point. 1 for 1. You take it to $10, you move out 1 decimal point. So now your buying power of Pi is 0.1. You go to $100, you move out 2 decimal points. Now your buying power of Pi is 0.01. Means you only need 0.01 Pi to buy a dollar item. So you can do the math on bigger ticket items or whatever. You go to $1,000, you move 3 places out. 0.001. Pi only goes out 4 places. I'm believing, and unofficial, whatever it is, the way I see it. Pi only goes out 4 places. That's $10,000 Pi. To break it down to 0.0001. Okay. Because Pi is working off of a different formula for intrinsic value than it is for market cap. Yes. Intrinsic value formula is different than market cap formula. People are focused on it. Fuck them. Screw them. The exchanges will play. They will play. And then, now, you have the dApps that are being built in Pi. And if you were here in the beginning, and and if you have really looked at the white paper, how the white paper lays things out, how the roadmap lays things out, the dApps were the last things to be built in the course of the white paper. Yeah. But because of what happened in that transfer, plan had to change. Plan had to change. So, what should have been the cementing factor for pi to support whatever value pi had was supposed to happen at the end. Because over 2 years, if Pi Economy, official Pi Economy got started, stayed running officially inside the app, there would be none of this official shit going on. Because it would all be official inside the app. The only reason it became unofficial because the in-app transfer closed and they're outside the app. That's why they're unofficial. So, if it would have been inside, all these economies would have, as Pi scaled, they would have scaled. The value of Pi would have, everything would have scaled. There wouldn't have even been an exchange trading. But that's what closed the in-app transfer. That's what killed it for the rest of us. That's what screwed us out of doing our job and building Pi value. Because the first, there is a contract. All the in-app transfer pilots signed a contract about not selling Pi. Cannot sell Pi for cash. Cannot trade Pi for any other currency. Crypto or fate. They signed a contract. And broke it. They broke it. They tried it. Okay? And listening to people today, if they had the feature, the availability to transfer Pi, first thing they would try to do is sell it for some other currency. We'd shut this project down and kill it. We'd shut it down and kill it because it can't happen. Not until phase 3. Pi cannot go outside the community until phase 3. People don't get it. People don't get it. So now we're at the apps, dApps. That's how core. The only thing Pi has to create, which should have already been created. And I don't know a whole lot about them. I stayed out of the brainstorming. I stayed out of the hackathon. I don't want to know. I really don't. No. Because I'm sure it would probably just piss me off. Because from that and these sites that have come up or locations, to build it, and the teams that are building these dApps and stuff like that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't have an opinion on them, and I don't want an opinion on them. But they're going to play a major factor in what happens in Pi initially when it starts. Depends on what these dApp builders charge for their services. If they value Pi, we got a fighting chance. If they don't value Pi, we have no chance in hell. If they value their Pi, they're going to be up there. They'll be up there somewhere. It may not be in the 100, but I would say that they'll be at least 10, and they should be at 15 starting. Yeah. People are so into core giving us a direction. Core giving. They did at the start of the in-app transfer. The first transaction that happened at the in-app transfer. Yes, it's only one, and it doesn't mean much unless you think about it. Core made the first official buy with Pi. Screams volumes, man. Missed it then and missing it now. Theirs was $15. The purchases they made valued Pi at $15. And they missed it. And I know they don't believe me, because I don't know shit. I didn't know shit then, and I don't know shit now. Yeah. The web domain that Core bought for, I think it was 10,000 Pi. Yeah, just dig, man. And you have to dig deep and you have to dig hard, because I got fortunate. And it may not have been, like I say, I've stepped on toes the whole time I've been here. As soon as I calculated it out, I put it out in chat. And I don't even know if you can get back that far in chat. But I put it out in chat. I just got lucky. I got lucky. Because the person that sold the domain was in chat one night. And we were just talking. And I got a ballpark figure. I mean, he put out a ballpark figure on what that domain cost in China. It took me a little while to realize it. Had to convert dollars to yen and all that. Yeah, that was new. Okay. Because it wasn't computer right. It wasn't what I was doing it from U.S. currency. It wasn't making sense. Doesn't make sense. But as soon as I converted Chinese yen, I mean, when I finally converted apples to apples and dealing with apples to apples, yeah, it came out. Came out right. As far as unofficial, because Core never said what they said what they gave for it, but they never said what the cost of it was. Nobody else has ever said the cost of it. So, and back then I didn't think about taking screenshots, and I didn't think about doing all that. Okay, probably because different time, different era. I know about cover thy ass, but at the time that wasn't my thinking. I wasn't part of the digital age. I didn't think about doing screenshots. I didn't think about this or that. I got the information. I know the information. And right, why would anybody trust me? They shouldn't. They wouldn't. Back then they wouldn't. They still don't. Okay? It's okay. I know what I know, and I saw what I saw. Can I prove it? No. Can I back it up? Could I take it into a court of law and make it stand up? No. No. Maybe. It's in the archives. Would have to dig out the archives. It's there. So, if Core started Pi value at 15, they started us in the direction. They started us in the direction, believe it or not, Ripley's. But nobody believes it. Direct from Core, while things were official, nobody believes it. What the fuck? I'm serious. What the fuck? Nobody believes it. Came from Core. It came from the creators and founders of Pi. The ones that we look up to and listen to today pointed us in a direction. Pointed us in a direction and a starting point. They can have no control over where it goes. They can have no control. They cannot be involved in the direction it goes. And if you're going to put it in the toilet, God help us, man. That's why I get emotional. I get fired. Because it came from Core, officially. But it's not posted anywhere. It's not stated. They didn't write it down. They didn't want. Think for yourself, man. We're adults. Read between the lines. See what's going on. Now I got fired up. I need to stop because I'm only getting worse. Okay? At the time, officially, the in-app transfer started. 300 people. Core made the first transaction. The first buy using Pi. It was logged. Yes, it only logged, I believe it was 10,000 on their end. Nobody's ever come off of what that domain cost. Well, that's your own fault. That's your own fault. Dig. Do your own research. I've gotten away from what I used to be. Oh, yeah. I was a pit bull, man. When I got onto something, I didn't let go. Till I found what I needed to find. And I found it. By accident. By luck. By chance. But, didn't believe it then, don't believe it now. People were trading Pi at $10. They were buying goods and services. They were buying goods, basically, at $10. TPL. Guys that were behind TPL and behind that were at $10. And at the time, it was TPL and PNM. And PNM went off their direction thinking of what they thought and how it was supposed to go. I think they had it at, I don't know what it was, 4 rubies, 3 rubies is where they started. So you had to do the conversion. You had to do the conversion, and they were running an auction. You can't run an auction and establish value. You can't do it. Because people, unless you can't use Pi to establish value running an auction. And also, people, when you don't realize what the job is, and you're going off of personal emotion, and auctions are a real bad way, because you can get caught up in them. And if you don't value Pi, there were some ungodly, just ungodly, because they got into bidding wars, they had the Pi, they just kept bidding. And all of a sudden, a $10 item is 100 Pi, 150 Pi, 1,000 Pi. I don't think I ever saw anything like that. I think the highest I saw was about 300 or 400 on a $20 or $30 item, because somebody wanted it. That's an auction. That's what you outbid the other guy. They didn't get it. They didn't get what their job was. Yes, if you are creating and establishing a value, you got to put yourself on the sidelines. You got to put yourself on the sidelines. And what value do we want on this coin? And then you work together to make that happen. So if you're going to do it through a bid and you're going to create transactions, you're going to do whatever. You put you on the sideline. If you want pi to be $10, then your auction runs at $10. See what I'm saying? So when you're bidding on items, you're bidding on items starting at 0.1. That's where the bidding starts, at 0.1. And you bid it up from there. And you stop. You stop before you reach the price of the item. Yeah, you want to have fun and do whatever it is, cool. But you stop before you get to what the actual item on the system we use today, dollars. So if you're auctioning a $20 item off, and you have pi at $10, well, you're not going to go real far. 0.1, 0.2. And the auction stops. Next pi, $10. And you do, there was nothing. It was zero. Ground, right? Yes, is it price fixing? Is it manipulation? Is it all that? Yes, it is. 100%. But nobody knows about it but us. I'm sure today, and even back then, probably had people watching from the outside. I mean, government people and people in space and people in whatever. But what was going on internally, they didn't look that deep. Look at some of the interviews from the crypto space back 2 years. Look at what they were saying about it. They weren't looking at pi. Even a year ago, or 2 years ago, or whatever, when the in-app transfer started, because my mind is going, I'm answered right now. If you haven't told. When the in-app transfer started, yes, I think there was a couple of pieces, but nobody's ever followed it or watched it or whatever. Pi has flown under the radar ever since it launched. It's still running under the radar, as far as I know. Because people in the space and people that are reporting on all it think Pi's a joke. Think Pi's a joke, which is cool. That is actually a benefit for Pi right now. Because we want to stay under the radar. My opinion. We want to stay under the radar. We do. We do. But people don't understand it because they're bitching about shit they shouldn't be bitching about. They shouldn't be demanding stuff that they're demanding because it's not there yet. There's no reason. We should be coming together. We should be coming together and getting on the same page. And we're not. For almost 3 years, there's been separation in Pi. Yes. Because everybody's coming in with their own what to. Pi should be. And they're not learning Pi. We have a bigger fight ahead of us than infighting between us. And I know a lot of people don't see that. They're not even thinking about it. They're not even thinking about it. I would almost venture to guess, guarantee. Put Pi up on it. They're not even thinking about it. Well, there's two things they're not really thinking about. Because they don't fathom the scale of Pi. They don't understand the reach of Pi. They don't understand what Pi is going to do. Pi should do what Bitcoin should have done. It's going to rattle some cages and rock some socks and do whatever if we get it there. Maybe, who knows? Now I can get into some conspiracy thing because it's my page, and it's unofficial, and it's my thoughts how I see. Who knows? Maybe they are government agents coming in to just derail Pi. Who knows? Because there's a lot of people fighting real hard to keep Pi from moving forward. A lot of people. So, hey, you can conspiracy theorists start throwing out now. Just put it out there. I know it's way out there. But what other explanation can there be? What other explanation can there be? Okay. So, the dApps, that will play a big part in Pi starting value. But it won't last long. It won't last long. Because if they value their pie like low, I mean, they have a low value on pie, whatever they have going on. If there's a place selling goods in the DAPs that are going to be rolling out, and say they're selling their goods at $10 a pie. Well, there's no economy that has started already that is at $10. So they're going to have to start at least 25 if they want to be. If they want to do business and be competitive, they're going to have to start at least 25. Why? You should be able to figure this one out on your own. Once pie goes mainnet and goes live, and because I don't think Core is going to launch pie the way most believe it, or think it, or whatever. I don't think it's going to be a mass launch. It's going to be a little launch. There's going to be restrictions. Pie is centralized. Pie will stay centralized until we get everybody in, my opinion, unofficial. So don't get your knickers in a twist about it, okay? Don't get upset when pie doesn't launch the way you think it's going to launch. I'm telling you, just in case. Another side. You need to look at. You need to have as many plans and strategies in your pocket for the possibilities of what pie may or may not do. Anything on the exchange, I wouldn't go for. I would leave that. That strategy should totally be out of the window. But those that are holding on to it that don't have a backup strategy are going to be crying. They're going to be bitching. They're going to be complaining, moaning, whatever. DApp builders, if they're not open-minded enough to what is going on already outside of pie, they won't have any business. They won't have any business. Because where are you going to go? Let's just keep the exchange out of the equation. You have a bunch of DApps in here, whatever. Some of them are selling goods, and some of them are offering services, and some of them are playing games, or some of them are whatever. But they have pie valued low, $5, $10. They could even have it valued lower than that. But I'm just giving some place to jump off and start at. Once pie goes live, and becomes official, we can trade anywhere we want. Once we get real pie, we can go anywhere we want, irregardless of whether it's in or out of the app. Pie is peer-to-peer. Pie is peer-to-peer. So no matter where that peer is doing business from, and whatever price or value they're offering their products at, we can do business with them. It doesn't matter. Because it's peer-to-peer. They're part of the economy. They are a pioneer. They have paid their dues. They push the button every day. And they're offering goods and services. Whether it's here, there, out of their trunk of their car, or out of the apartment, or through some marketplace or whatever. We can trade with them. And if we get better value over here, that's been established, over here, that's been established. I don't care whether it's unofficial. They're trading in pie. They're legit. It's a legit place. I can shop there. I can buy my goods there. Yeah. I would be starting out. I'd be careful because there's probably going to be a lot of scams, a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of whatever. But it needs to start here. Exchange. If the state of the exchange does happen, they're going to be pennies. If you choose to sell your pie at pennies, God help you. Learn school of hard knocks. Because you just gave your whatever profit you should have earned from mining pie for this amount of time, you just gave away. They know these economies are going on. They want to buy your pie for pennies so they can go spend it over here for $100 or $25. I would be real surprised, other than supporting the app. Shopping over here. Because you don't get the value. That's free market. Free market is I have the choice to go anywhere I want to spend my money. Now, I know that may be contradictory to core and what's going on and trying to keep things inside the pie. And yes, it can stay protected, it can be whatever. But if it's peer-to-peer, seamless, borderless, 236 countries around the world. Yes. Now, You can't be a kid in a candy shop and go, I'm going to go buy drugs and I'm going to go buy this and I'm going to go launder this. And I'm going to no, that will it happen? Probably. Will it happen? Okay, it's part of life. It's part of nature. It's part of But you got to have some self-restraint. You got to do something to rein it in. If you're thinking about pi, if that's the direction you're looking to go, trade pi. Trade pi on the exchange for either Bitcoin or Monroe, which will probably be able to happen, and go to the dark web with Monroe. Anybody trading down on the dark web already knows it. You don't need to take pi down there. Pi has no reason to be down there. Pi is looking to stay above ground. Will it probably make some trades and stuff down there? Probably, most likely. People are people. People, they are who they are. They do what they do. But there's no reason to take pi down there. That isn't where Pi's going to get us home. That isn't where Pi's going to find its economy. That's where Monroe found its economy. That's where Bitcoin found its economy. Is on the dark web. And the only reason Bitcoin went down there, because some entrepreneur had an issue, had a problem, saw the solution to the problem, opened up shop. And Pi is an entrepreneur's playground, whether you believe it or not. And I said this in one of my other videos. If you have anything to do with shipping, trucking, moving packages around the world, you will be a Pi billionaire. You will be a player in Pi. That is the biggest obstacle that Pi faces right now, is shipping. If somebody can solve that problem, you write your own ticket, man. You write your own ticket. 30 million people, 236 countries that need to move goods. If somebody can figure out how to move those goods efficiently, cheaply, quality, no different like FedEx. Yes, they get it damaged back. Quality shipping at a reasonable price. Being able to pay in Pi, you can write your own ticket, man. You can write your own ticket. That's one of them. So, I know I've gotten long. I didn't want to get long in this one, but when I put these out, there's a lot of information that ties together that help me form my opinion, how I see things played out. Okay? I'm not telling you anything that I either didn't read, didn't know, or didn't experience, been a part of. Okay? Yes, and probably the closer we get, I will probably post links or give availability to links to some stuff that's going on. But I really don't want to do that right now. You can research and find them for yourself. Just have to research a little bit. Anything that you may get involved in or think you may get involved in or looking to get involved in, research it. Research it for yourself. Know what you're getting into. Know all of the ins and outs before you jump. Yes. I want to give the information. I don't want to send people in the wrong direction. I want to give them the best rounded information they can get. Because there are already a lot of facets in the Pi. Pi is really not complicated, but it is. Yeah. There's a lot of facets, a lot of stuff that makes Pi, which a lot of people miss. Because if you miss a portion of it or a section of it, you're not going to be able to, the other side doesn't make sense. It doesn't come together. The pieces don't fit. Unless you do your own research. Talk to the people that know. Listen to the people that know. Because this has been a major issue the whole time I've been in Pi. People will believe unofficial sites from unofficial people as official information. No joke, man. Happens every day. If you want official Pi information, search official Pi sites, listen to official Pi people, core team. If it doesn't come from core, it's unofficial. Now, like I said, I did post that tweet, and I'm glad I didn't post that first video, because what they were saying, and it happened to me before, and I'm glad it took a little while for this one to download. I've done it before, and I've had to go back and correct a lot of shit. It was the verbiage. If you want, I mean, to give you the first inclination whether it's official or unofficial, it comes from the wording. Okay? If the wording's not right, it raises a red flag. Words that are used in other contexts than what, if you read the white paper, it's obvious what wording court chooses for what specific thing. When you don't see it in whatever is posted, if you see other verbiage that should be, red flag. Most likely it's unofficial. Yeah. And kudos for finding out before went off and that's, like I say, if the information doesn't come from an official site, from official court team, usually it'll come from the Pi app first. I guess it's Twitter. There is a Twitter app that went through Twitter before it came to Pi. Anyway, if it doesn't come from an official site, or doesn't come from the app first, doesn't come from court team, needs to be treated as false information, bad information, incorrect information. Okay? Just because there's a lot of stuff out there. But it was nice to see somebody come and ask, or, come and ask, hey, is this real or is this not real? Best way to learn. So, I know I've gone long again, and I don't know whether, I think I've touched on pretty much everything, maybe, sort of. Okay. We are getting to the point of free market. I know there was a lot of talk about free market and let it just put it out there, let the market take over. You can't. You really can't. Once something is established, we've accepted, agreed upon it, and trust each other to honor it, then you just throw it out there. And like I say, people know my opinion and why. Well, I don't know whether I got to the why on this one. I'm long on this video again. Why is so everybody can use Pi. Everybody in Pi can use Pi. That's a quick nutshell. Okay. Once a value is established, once a value, not price, value. Once that's established, throw it out on the market. If all these other unofficial economies have started, okay, throw them out on the market. Throw them out on the market. That's where the market will settle. Where if you're too high, it doesn't seem realistic, and people will be leery, and they may or may not. I mean, that's where the value is. But okay, I'm not saying that you won't get more customers over there, because that you can buy some big ticket items at that value. At that value. But am I going to be leery until? Because I probably don't trust. I won't trust them. Right now, I wouldn't trust them. You got one that's at a trustable value, but I know people aren't going to trust it. So, but now they may trust this a little more, but confidence in Facebook is not the greatest or whatever. And there's going to be if it's happening between in Facebook, okay, and Facebook gets wind of it, I would be careful. I would be ready to set up shop someplace else. Because I'll do a video because you're in the wrong venue. You're in the wrong venue. Right now it's cool because Pi thinks Pi's a joke. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to do anything. The supply's so big, he's going to trade on exchange for nothing. They don't have to worry about it. Nobody's worrying about Pi now, or at least 3 years from now, because of what they think they know. But when Pi hits the stage running, and that's all we're doing, we're hitting the platform running. There's no reason for Pi to start over. Pi should be running. When it launches to the public, we're not running as fast as I'll settle for a walk right now. If Pi would have gone the direction it would have, and if people would have been ready to accept what was going on and deal with what was going on, instead of interjecting their shit into it, Pi would look different today. Pi would look different today. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And when it got launched, the world has never seen anything like it. would have seen anything like it. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because Pi would have hit the ground running, shining. And my faith is back up because I know that the market, the trading of goods and services, the value of the market, yes, I know what's going to happen with the market. But Pi has to start high enough to give it a fighting chance to let the market soar out. Yeah. People will go to where they get the best value, where they trust getting the best value. So if China trusts China, there's going to be a lot of transactions through the China Mall at that value. A lot, man. Count on it. Count on it. Count on it. Well, if the transactions are happening, people are trusting it, more people are trusting it, and it is getting bigger because that value is that way, people have to raise their value to match that, man. Competition. I mean, you want free market and competition, whatever, you're going to have to raise your prices because they're doing the business. If you're down here at $5, you won't be in business long. Not if they're getting valued at $1,000. Not if they're getting valued at $100. You're going to have to raise it to be competitive. And you're going to have to raise it higher if you want business. Because people will go where they get the best value. So if value is at $100, you may have to go to 110 or 120 to create business, to get business. Okay? That's free market. It doesn't go the other way. It goes up. And people are counting on starting low and going up. There's no reason for Pi to start low and go up. Pi ought to start... I shouldn't say Pi shouldn't start low and go up. Pi is starting low and going to go up. $10 to $15 to me is the lowest Pi can go. If Pi starts there, we have a chance, pretty good chance, because it won't take long for the market to correct to get to a higher value. If we start on $1 or under, we've killed it. Put a fork in it, it's done. That lady's song. Okay? She's tuned up, she's singing, she's whatever. Call quit. I mean, if it starts under $1, we'll say that. And it's unofficial. Everything I'm saying is unofficial. Just my opinion, just my belief, just the way Pi starts $1 or under. That lady's saying. And I'll split. No. And it's not a threat, it's just letting you know where I'm at. I'll go find another project that should have done what Pi should have done. Mm-hmm. Community killed Bitcoin. Community killed Pi. Wasn't ready. Community wasn't ready for change. If Bitcoin started under $1, community wasn't ready for change. Society wasn't ready for change. Society will keep going in the direction it's going. Outside investors, big institutional investors, will come over and take over Pi. Guarantee. Because Pi offers the best things going out on the market today. Closest thing to being a competitive currency. It's not controlled by central bank and government. Yeah. If you don't see it, you don't know what you're losing. You don't know what you're giving away. Sad part is you're giving away for me too. There's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. Anyway. Now I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry because, giving our, I don't know what the difference is, they give our freedom away now. They give our freedom away. I mean, we've given our freedom away. We've given our freedom of choice away. We've given away. And we're being treated like children that can't handle the responsibility. What was it? What, a few good men? You can't handle the truth. No, maybe not. Can't handle the responsibility. Can't handle the thing. Unless it comes in a video game or a cartoon, they'll probably be right. So, anyway, I know, like I say, I know I'm getting long, and I'm getting kind of fired up. I'm getting the answer, because it's true. Just if you see it, if you understand it, if you write it, share it. And I know it's hard, and I know people don't listen, and people won't, and they probably won't until Pi launches and they can see Pi being used. And a lot of it has to come down to being able to see something in Pi, see it being used, see it have some value, see it trading, whatever. People need to see that. Pi has gotten to that point. So once Pi launches phase 3, if you have a low earning team or whatever, don't sweat it. Once Pi launches phase 3 and people can see it, then hit the bricks. Hit the street. Get business cards, do whatever. Because once they can see a use case, utility, and all that other stuff for it, they can see it has value. They can see they can. The biggest thing is, no, they can't see that they can use it. That's why people stop, because they can't use it. Once they can see they can use it, you will build learning teams. Guaranteed. That's where I'm at. I mean, that's why. Because I know people that I've talked to and people that have started mining and stopped because they can't use it. The bottom line is they can't use it. Pi has to be used. Pi has to be seen being used to continue to build a community. So don't sweat your earning teams or whatever. Just if you see it, share it, put it out there, put it out in the app chat. I know they're a battlefield, but the more people that are putting out correct information or right direction or whatever, changes. It changes the atmosphere in the room. It changes the thinking of the room. It does. The more people you have in there talking the same direction, the different the chat is. If there's not enough, if there's only a few people talking this way, no, they don't, because they don't believe. Because we're not in the, not in the majority. There's only one or two talking, yeah. Okay. Just don't take things personal. Keep your thick skin. Don't take it personal. And just keep putting out the word. Just keep putting out Pi. What Pi needs. Not what we think Pi needs. That's all. All right, then. I'm out. Y'all have a good night. Thank you again for everybody viewing the video, subscribing, being a part of. Let's make it happen. It's getting close. We can do it.